Namaskar. Welcome to Conversations with Rakesh. Here's today's question. Rakesh sir, what are the top 5 mistakes that terrible speakers make? Very crisp and nice question. And I picked it up because I think we focus a lot on good speakers and what they do, but sometimes we can also learn from not so good speakers. And I'm not so good speaker myself many times because I make many mistakes and I'm sure many of us observe these mistakes. So first of all, let me build some walls around the topic because this topic is huge. I'm not going to focus on conversations. I'm not going to focus on uh, meetings where the discussions happen. I'm going to focus on presentations because that's where the speaking and the ability of a speaker to make mistakes is very visible because everybody is watching you. So I'm going to focus on presentations in the corporate or a student context. And the first concept I'd like us to focus on is that when we define the word terrible speaker or a great speaker, I think we should understand what that means. And I'll take you away from communication and presentations to the world of theater, movies, and performances. When you look at the world of theater, movies, and performances, an audience comes out and says, it was terrible. I think that's what we need to focus on. That some audiences found the show bad. It was terrible for them. And how would they come to that conclusion? So, in the world of presentations and speaking, there are some basic mistakes that I hope you avoid because if you understand what the audiences define as terrible mistakes, I think we learn a lot. So here are the 5 things I have observed are very commonly seen in the corporate world and in the colleges and schools, which if we avoid, our presentations can become a lot more easy. So concept number 1, a presentation is a performance. And just like how an audience can say terrible performance, they can say terrible speech or a terrible speaker. And here are the 5 reasons why they would say like that. Ready? Mistake number 1. Um, and this is something which is so common. The presentation has started, the speaker is going up, and then they'll be setting up their laptop. There will be a mic, and they'll switch on and off, and they'll do and check, check, hello. And the whole audience is right there, irritated. Some of them just switch off, and this is so common. Few weeks ago, I was attending a very beautiful performance, but the problem of these performing artists is that sometimes they're on stage and they're tuning their instruments in front of audience. Now, many of the Indian classical musicians do that and they feel it's a great sign of preparation. I'm sorry. I was sitting in that room and I found it was extremely rude of them not to respect my time. The show was supposed to start at 5:30. I was sitting there till 5:50 or 5:55. They're tuning their instruments. And I thought that was not done. That is unprofessional. And the same thing happens in corporate and colleges and student life. That audience is waiting and you are connecting your laptop. You are struggling with the USB and the fire wire and some thing is not working. The mic is off and you're like checking, check, 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 and audience gets irritated. So first mistake of terrible speaker is to go on stage, the performance has begun, and not perform and do this mic testing and preparation on stage, and that is terrible. The audience switches off, they lose all their interest, and your presentation is already in the disaster zone. So that is my mistake number 1. Please avoid it. Mistake number 2, this is again very common. I've seen many of my corporate presentations where I was sitting, the speaker would go and say a sentence, I'm sorry, I'm not prepared. And this is like, the actor or the performer going on stage where everybody is waiting for them and saying, I'm sorry, I'm not prepared. First of all, the audience gets very, they lose interest. Second is their mind could be in different direction कि ठीक है अगर आप ही prepared नहीं हो तो मैं क्या करूँगा. So they lose the entire focus and the whole idea of making a presentation is gone. So please go and don't tell them that you are not prepared. Now, this is where I get many questions. Ki, sir, I've been very honest with my audience. I'm like, यार ये दो डिस्कशन को दूर रखो, ये ऑनेस्टी बाद में डिस्कस करेंगे, बट द ऑडियंस डजंट नीड टू नो. They have given you a chance to speak. Now whether you are prepared or not is immaterial, they'll figure it out anyway. So you just go and speak. It's like a performance. You go on stage and you perform. You don't tell ki I'm prepared or not prepared. Imagine you are in a very big theater or a performance or a rock star, and the rock star says, I'm sorry, I'm not prepared. Your entire connection is gone. And if you're not prepared, the audience will know that you're not prepared because of the various things you'll do on stage, which they'll pick up. So please don't declare that I am not prepared. Just go and speak because they are waiting for you. And the second mistake is declaring कि भैया हमने तो तैयारी नहीं करी है. Third big mistake that terrible speakers do: engaging the audiences too early in the presentation. Many of these communication trainers, they connect motivational speaking, this this amazing style of using body and connecting with the audience. So it's nice, but again, there is a time to engage the audience. My request is that when you are speaking in front of an audience, especially in the corporate schools, colleges level, they are waiting to listen from you. They are not waiting to be engaged, especially in the beginning. They're also scared. And आप पहुंच जाओगे stage पे and you start engaging. कि अच्छा, how are you doing? Can you hear me at the back? Raise your right hand and congratulate yourself. I'm like, अरे यार छोड़ दो. First, you go and win their hearts by your speech. The most common and the most irritating thing I've heard from people is this sentence: can you hear me at the back? Arey yaar, if they can't hear you at the back, they'll tell you. So please don't say it. Even in Zoom call, I've heard it. Am I audible? People at the back, am I audible? And I'm like, we get it. I mean, the show is on. Everybody's looking at you. They will interrupt you कि सर सुनाई नहीं दे रहा है. But you just go. So third big mistake: please don't engage with audience, especially in the beginning, and don't use these cliched sentences. Can you hear me? That is very, very irritating, and terrible speakers do that all the time. Number 4, time management. अगर आपको 5-10 मिनट मिले हैं, प्लीज आप 5-10 मिनट ही बोलना. There was this one presentation I was attending where the time given was 10 minutes and the speaker had some 37 slides. And all of us looked at slide 1 of 37 at the presentation and we lost interest. कि मर गए, आज तो गया घंटा. And then I'm part of these various forums where everybody, उनको mic मिलता है तो वो बोलते ही जाते हैं. So please be respectful of time. Audience doesn't like it. And if you can speak within the time limits, that's best. If you have been given 1 minute, please speak less than 1 minute. If you've been given 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes. Don't go like 22 minutes. 10 का 11 हो जाएगा, कोई बात नहीं. But 10 का 21, 25, 30 is not a good idea. So please respect time. And audience loves it when you speak less and you speak within the time limit. In fact, you give them 1 or 2 minutes out of your time to them as a gift. They love it. So please respect the audience time. Terrible speakers don't realize this because they're in their own world. And they become very full of themselves कि भैया अब तो audience मिला है तो अब तो मैं बोलूंगा. So respect time and the audience will love you for that. So that's mistake number 4 by terrible speakers: disrespecting the time given to them. And the last, trying to be someone you're not. You could be off stage a very different person, but the moment you go on stage, you become this very strange accent coming out of your mouth. The mannerisms are very artificial. You try to mimic your own boss or your own people you have seen in the corporate world. Please don't do all that. Try to be authentic, be who you are. If by nature you're a person who cannot do this and is not uncomfortable and looks very terrible doing it, please don't do it because the audience really finds it very quickly and disconnects. And that's a big mistake कि जाओ भैया स्टेज पे और अब डांस करना शुरू कर दो. I don't think you should do that. Like, I know my limitations. I'm a terrible mover. I can't move, I can't dance. So I don't do any theatrics on stage. Now, if I go and start dancing, first of all, my body is very clumsy. Audience will figure out that I'm a clumsy dancer and they'll get disconnected. So, mistake number 5: please don't be something you are not. So, let me summarize the 5 mistakes of terrible speakers. Mistake number 1: Connecting tech on stage, please don't do it. The moment you're on stage, get ready and speak. If the tech is not working, leave it. Mistake number two, don't start with I am not prepared kind of a sentence. Mistake number three, please don't engage audiences at the beginning, especially this sentence कि can you hear me? इसको delete मार दो. Mistake number four, please don't go overboard with time, respect the time given to you. And mistake number five, please don't try to be someone you are not. If you can do these basic things, I have a feeling your presentations and speeches will be a lot better. Stay safe. Namaskar. I have a very exciting announcement to make. Thanks to all of your love and support and ideas, Conversations with Rakesh is now 75 weeks young. And from this particular episode, instead of Sunday, the conversations videos will come on Wednesday evenings. So please remember, the conversation videos will come every week, but from this particular week, we are shifting it from Sunday to Wednesday. So stay tuned. Please like, subscribe, and share. It helps us. Please forward our videos to your friends. Please send us questions. My team and I work very hard to take them, research on them, and do videos. And we are going to be with you every week. But instead of Sunday, we are now shifting it to Wednesday evening. Stay safe.